Where is my chat? Let's minus that. Let's pull this over here. And let's make that be on front of this. That way we can see. Okay, so we're going to do a little something different for a few videos where I want to share with you my new hobby, which is buying and trading cryptocurrency. So I made a little intro video that I'll post later on what is cryptocurrency and what's all the fuss about it. In this video, I want to share with you how to get started if you have an interest in investing in or trading cryptocurrency. So let's get started. So if you want to get into this, how do you start? And the first thing you have to do is figure out how to get your local currency, so US dollars or wherever you are, how do you get that turned into cryptocurrency, specifically Bitcoin or Ethereum, Litecoin, one of the kind of easy to buy major coins. So the most common place that people get started, the kind of gateway drug, would be to go to Coinbase. So let's go to Coinbase, and if you just kind of log in, let's see what happens if we just go to Coinbase.com. Coinbase.com, this is your starting point. So Coinbase is a place where you can transfer a bank account into Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, or Bitcoin Cash for now. And they'll add more coins likely as time goes on. So then you would sign up and fill out a bunch of forms and link up your bank account or credit card, and then you would be able to actually buy Bitcoin. So the thing I learned, and I've been trading cryptocurrency for about 2 weeks, so I started really trading just before Christmas. I bought my first coin back in July and then just kind of hung on to it. So the thing that I learned recently is that once you buy something in Coinbase, if you want to transfer it out of Coinbase, that's really expensive. So let's see what happens if we sign in here. So I'm going to sign into my Coinbase account, and this tells us some dashboard stuff like the right now value of Bitcoin, and you can look and see how even in the last couple of hours, let's go to hour and see how the price of Bitcoin kind of goes up and down over time. But right now, one Bitcoin as of January 6th at 6:28 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is worth $17,100. All right, so in my account, I have transferred everything that I bought out, except for I have $10 of a coin called Bitcoin Cash. So Bitcoin Cash, let's click on Bitcoin Cash. Let's see. Dashboard, Bitcoin Cash. Click on that. Maybe accounts, Bitcoin Cash. Now, this is good to know. Outgoing wire delays, transaction delays. There is so much interest in cryptocurrency that a lot of these exchanges have serious delays right now. So let's go to the Bitcoin Cash wallet, which is a place that cryptocurrency is stored. And let's say that I want to send it. So I want to transfer it somewhere else. So if I wanted to transfer it, I would have to type in an address. And if I wanted to send max, I was hoping it would show me the actual fee. Let's click network fee. Let's see. The point is that the fees to transfer out of Coinbase are high. So you don't want to use Coinbase to transfer money out. For example, if I wanted to transfer, and I did this the other day, $25 to a relative, just to kind of as a birthday gift. $25 worth of Bitcoin to a relative. The transaction fee was $23. So transferring in and out of Coinbase is not what you want to be doing. However, getting from your local currency into a cryptocurrency you can do at Coinbase. So then the next question is, well then how do we actually get out of Coinbase if we can't just transfer out without paying high fees? So Coinbase itself is the front end, the retail storefront of an exchange called GDAX. So let's go over to GDAX. So we can just type in GDAX.com. And we can see a bunch of tradey stuff looking over here. So GDAX is an exchange. An exchange is a place where you can take one currency, click a button, and convert it into a different currency. So GDAX can exchange the same currencies that Bitcoin can exchange. GDAX can exchange US dollars to Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin as of right now. So it's pretty easy. I think I can just sign in here and it'll automatically sign in. All right, so it's pretty easy to just then transfer your Coinbase Bitcoin to GDAX. So let's see how you would do that. I could go, this is Bitcoin to US dollars, and I can, let me pull this over to make sure you guys can see it. Ah, not that much. So then, trade for Bitcoin. Jessa, this is it. All right, what's going on in chat? Bitcoin is better than what? Trade for Bitcoin. Bitcon. That's a fantastic typo. That's pretty funny. All right, so over here at GDAX, I can click on Bitcoin, or I could switch to, like, for example, Ethereum. So now I'm looking at Ethereum to US dollars. So let's go back to Bitcoin, and then I could hit withdraw. So withdraw, and then I could withdraw from my Coinbase account. GDAX and Coinbase are a front and back of the house. GDAX is the warehouse where all of the exchanges actually happen, and then Coinbase is the retail front. The user-friendly, there's an app, it makes it very, very easy to use Coinbase to look and see what your balances are and to just kind of hang on to money there at Coinbase. All right, so if you buy from your local currency to Bitcoin, for example, through Coinbase, then you want to get out of Coinbase and go elsewhere to other exchanges in the world where you can then buy the things that really are probably what most people want to invest in, which are the smaller value altcoins. Now, why altcoins? And the answer is because Bitcoin itself is a prototype coin. It's the Model T of the cryptocurrencies. It has high fees, like we just saw, and it has long transaction speeds. So it's not really suitable for day-to-day use. You really couldn't see Amazon, for example, click here to pay by Bitcoin because it would cost too much to do the transaction. So there's this whole rat race now, or horse race, of all of these smaller altcoins that each have their own little niche. I'm faster. I'm more secure. I have no fees. I'm instant. I also can carry data about a bunch of other things. So they all have their own little specialty niche. I'm well integrated with digital media or something like that. We don't know which one is going to become the kind of day-to-day working cryptocurrency that in 5 years from now we'll all look back and say, oh yeah, I can't even remember a time before I wasn't buying things with whatever it is, Ripple, who knows. So how do you invest in those very cheap altcoins right now? So you need to get from Coinbase to GDAX, and then from GDAX to an exchange. So here at GDAX, my Coinbase account is automatically linked. So I could pick, if I had Bitcoin in there right now, which I don't, I could hit max, and then I could put a destination and withdraw to my my GDAX account. All right, so I would do that, withdraw funds, click, and my Bitcoin would now move from Coinbase to GDAX. That's an instant and free transaction, and then my money would be in GDAX. So transferring out of GDAX to an exchange where I could buy some of the altcoins has low fees. So you want to be transferring out of GDAX, not out of Coinbase. So I hope that makes sense. As newbie mistake number one that I made, I don't know how many fees I paid to transfer Bitcoin out of Coinbase directly when there's this easy way to do it through the back door through GDAX. All right, so let's get out of that, and let's get out of that. All right, so the next thing that I want to talk about is buying the altcoins. How do you do that? How do you buy some of these altcoins? So let's go over and look at CoinMarketCap. All right, so CoinMarketCap. Let's hear in chat it's like you going casino. All right, there's absolutely zero guarantee that your funds won't randomly disappear someday, never to return. Well, I'm not sure I agree with that, because I think the entire point of cryptocurrency is that it is very, very, very public. You can look at funds that are going in and out of all these addresses. For example, last night there was, some concern about a particular altcoin called Tron, TRX. And there was a big sensation thing about it. The founder may or may not have sold a bunch. And so you can look in the public ledger. So this is not something that's kept at the IRS. This is not in the back room at PayPal. This is not somewhere in the bowels of your credit card processor or American Express. The transactions are all public. So there's these long addresses, and you can see the one that for a Bitcoin wallet that I posted in the video description here. These long addresses, you can see exactly where things are moving. So you can't just see money disappear. You would absolutely be able to see it went from here to there. That's the whole point of cryptocurrency, is this high visibility and very publicness nature of this decentralized currency that does not involve banks or governments. All right, so look at all of these coins. So let's look at all these coins. So here's Bitcoin. Now Bitcoin is the current front runner because it's the oldest, it's the Model T, it's the one that kind of paved the way for the use of blockchain technology to create a digital currency. And look at the market capitalization. This is billions of dollars, $295 billion. And look how much in the last 24 hours has changed hands. $18 billion worth of Bitcoin has changed hands in the last 24 hours. And then we've got all these other coins. Here's the number 2, Ripple. Last week, the number 2 was Ethereum. So there's been a little switch here. And we have Bitcoin Cash. We've got one that trades under ADA, Litecoin, and then all of these others. How many? All of these. Look at this. If we continue to scroll down this list, at the end of it, it would be something like 1,500 different altcoins. And they each have their own little shtick about why I'm better than Bitcoin and why, vote for me with your dollar, vote for me so that to become the actual usable cryptocurrency, because right now Bitcoin itself is not very usable. What's going to ultimately happen to the majority of these coins? Probably they're going to turn to zero value and go away, ultimately. So 5 years from now, when we look back at this list, of this 1,500, how many are still going to be around? I don't know, but a fraction, most likely, I'm guessing here, a fraction of the ones that are out there now. So this is sort of like a contest. It's a giant marathon where you've got all of these entrants, and some are faster, better, stronger than others, and they're all unique in their own way. One of them is going to likely be the winner. Maybe a handful of them will become very usable. And what we're doing right now as a sort of collective society of the world is we are voting with investing in these coins to see which one is going to actually become the dominant coin. So why do we care about this? It means that if you are able to pick this winner based on which one of you coins is technically the best, which one of you coins has a team and social marketing and the sort of being able to play the diplomacy game to become very popular, which one of you guys is going to kind of surpass Bitcoin? And likely one of the altcoins will ultimately kind of unseat Bitcoin from the throne. Now, with the value of Bitcoin today being $17,000 for one Bitcoin, and if we look back in history, a few years ago, one Bitcoin was $1. A lot of people have made a lot of money in being an early adopter of Bitcoin as it went on its journey from $1 to $17,000 today. So the likelihood that one of these other coins is going to have a similar story. It's going to be cheap, 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 and it's going to end up becoming very expensive. It would be as if, you looked at a different industry, restaurants, and if you were kind of sitting at the time where fast food has just become a thing. Before, we didn't have any fast food. Nobody thought of that idea. And then somebody comes up with the idea of a drive-through and automatic fry makers and the concept of fast food. And then there's all sorts of Burger King and Wendy's and McDonald's and Jack in the Box and Kentucky Fried Chicken. And they're all a little bit different in their own way. They all have their own recipe. If you could be sitting there then where you see them all pop up, they're all worth $1. If you were able to invest in them on day one, then the likelihood that over time that your investment would become very significant is high. And so that's why I talk about cryptocurrency. I advocate for for folks to spend 25, 50, or $100 on this stuff just for the fun of it. Investing in cryptocurrency is probably a good thing for all of us to do and to pay attention to it, with the goal being to invest in a cryptocurrency that is likely to become one that is very usable for folks every day. All right, so we've got this big list of different crypto coins. These are called the altcoins, the ones that are not Bitcoin, the alternatives to Bitcoin. And these guys have a very wide range in value. You can see here's Ripple, the number 2 spot. A week ago, one Ripple was worth 70 cents. Today, it's worth $3.10. And that value is going to go up and down. All right, and then we can see some of these other ones. Ethereum has been around for a while. Ethereum was the first coin that I bought in July. And I bought it on the recommendation of Matt Davis from the repair community. And I remember him being one of those guys that talks about this crypto stuff all the time. And I remember, and I thought Matt, I've met Matt. I think Matt's a pretty level-headed guy. And so I thought, all right, what the heck? I signed up for Coinbase and I bought 3 Ethereum coins. And at the time, they were each $250. So I thought it was an investment, and I made an investment of $750 into Ethereum. Today, one Ethereum, each of those that I bought, is worth $1,044 since July. That's a really, really remarkable increase in a short period of time. All right, so if we look around, we can see that there's these other coins. If we kind of go way down deep in the list, who knows which one of these coins down here is going to gain a following and sort of verify its technology to become a real competitor. All right, so one thing I want to talk about now is the idea of all right, let's say I've got an interest now in cryptocurrency. What do I do about it? You can either invest or trade, and I recommend investing and not trading. You'll see me trading all the time, but I don't think it's a good idea. I think investing is a good idea. For example, all I did in July, I spent about 5 minutes making a Coinbase account and buying 3 Ethereum coins, and then I never looked at it again until October. And in October, each one was worth $340. I thought that was pretty cool. And it sure beat my other investments in stocks and mutual funds and things like that. And then from October to December, Ethereum coins went way up, and now each Ethereum coin today is worth $1,044. That is a really remarkable increase for doing very little to no work. So I want to share with you guys this idea of investing. I like what this guy's done. So let's go over here and look at this guy's experiment. Buy and hold 100 crypto. So this guy is starting a 5-year challenge, and he started this a few weeks ago, where the experiment, click here, the experiment is that all he's doing is he's going to that coin market cap. Oh, no, internet, don't crash. All right, hopefully that will load. It's going to suck if the internet quits working. But what this guy has done is he has taken from CoinMarketCap, where we just looked, and he sorted the coins, all 1,500 of them, into a top 100. And that's a lot, a top 100 coins. And then he took $1,000, so his investment is $1,000, and he invested $10 in each of the top 100 cryptocurrencies, so each of the coins. And actually doing that is the subject of this video. But he did that, and then he's just not going to touch it for 5 years and see what happens. Now, some of them will probably go down to value equals 0. but others will likely increase in value over time. And so this is an experiment. It's fun to kind of keep tabs on this and see how it works out for this guy. So go to this link and look at this yourself. The buyandhold100crypto.com, the experiment. And you can see that I think he's been doing this for a few weeks. He started with $1,000, and I think now his total portfolio balance is something like $3,000, and he's really only been doing it for a few weeks. All right, so let's see. Okay, so let's make that a little bit bigger. Okay. Okay, so everybody's talking about coins they're invested in. My goal is to make money. So far, I've made $1,600 profit for 1 week, says Chris Long, who I remember saying, hey, dude, you got to buy crypto about it, you know, like recently. Okay, so let's give up on that. All right, so here's the next question. Let's say that you've got your money into Coinbase, and then you've got your money moved over to GDAX, and now you want to actually go buy coins. How can you do that? Let's see if I can go back to CoinMarketCap, or if I have no internet whatsoever. Okay, CoinMarketCap. So let's say you wanted to carry out that experiment. You want to invest. All right, so how do you buy Ripple, for example, or Ethereum, or any of these guys? Let's pick these ones down here. So whatever is Stellar, which is trades under XLM, you can see the little symbol over here, Tron, TRX, IOTA, etc. These are the sort of, you know, in number 7, 8, 9, and 10. Maybe you just want to invest in the top 10 or the top 20. How do you actually do that? So next, you need to find an exchange. So an exchange is a place that will allow you to convert from Bitcoin or Ethereum or Litecoin, the original top 3, to convert from those coins to exchange them for some of the altcoins. All right, so there's lots of different exchanges out there, and they kind of are ranging categories from the good ones all the way down to the really sketchy ones where you may put money in and then they say for maintenance and you can't ever get it back out. So how do you know which one to go with? So let's look for somewhere here at CoinMarketCap. Let's just look for CoinMarketCap exchanges and see if we can find a, here we go, the 24-hour volume ranking of exchanges. So let's just use this 24-hour volume ranking to kind of see which ones are the most popular exchanges. All right, so let's do all of these. Number 1 exchange is Binance, and that's the one that I use. There's a link in the video description if you want to sign up for a Binance account. I really like Binance. It is very easy to see a lot of information. It's easy to make trades. It's easy to invest. It's easy to figure out and understand how it works. Some of the other ones are a little bit more difficult. Now, Binance does not trade every single altcoin that there is. It trades a subset of something like 38 of them, and new coins are added based on voting, and Binance runs a lot of cool contests, and it's a pretty user-friendly place. Now, I think 2 days ago, Binance was the number 6 exchange. Today, it's the number 1 exchange. So the volume that Binance is trying to deal with has really rocketed as a lot more people are saying, yeah, I think I'd like to, you know, it's the new year. Why not throw $100 into one of these cryptos and see if I'm a millionaire this time next year? Okay, so now we can see Binance, and we can see a list of some of the different altcoins that Binance trades, and we can see the volume on there. All right, and then we can look at some of the other ones. So here's one, BitThumb. I've never used it, don't know much about it. Bittrex. Bittrex is a very popular one, but as last time I checked, they are no longer accepting new accounts. And then there's these other ones, Bitfinex. I don't know what OKX is. I don't know what Huobi is. This one, Poloniex, is another one that's similar to GDAX, where it really only exchanges a handful of coins. All right, and then there's HitBTC, which I think is kind of the Asian exchange located in Asia. Here's our buddy GDAX, which is kind of the Coinbase exchange. And look, it only really exchanges a few different coins. And then we have other ones down here. Kraken is a popular one. And then we're getting into ones that are, KuCoin is another one that's sort of popular because they have a lot of different coins. Look at these weird coins on there. Oyster Pearl. I want to buy some Oyster Pearl. I want to buy some Deep Brain Chain. I want to buy Deep Brain Chain just because it's named Deep Brain Chain. All right, here's a popular coin, Ray Blocks, that you can trade on KuCoin. So KuCoin trades some of the ones that are harder to find. Cryptopia, similarly, I think that's the New Zealand one, and they trade some ones that are not traded by the exchanges that are here at the top of the list. All right, so that chunk is you need to have an account at least one exchange in order to be able to actually buy these altcoins. All right, now between those, you'll see different fees. And you'll see sort of different difficulties to, kind of get in and get verified. And you'll also notice that the interface is going to be really variable between them. You want to be careful when choosing your exchange, and I would stick to the ones that are sort of the ones that everyone is using, that are going to have the better security. If your exchange gets hacked, then you would lose all of your money. So choosing a exchange that you kind of trust is a good thing to do. When you do the exchange of money, you send your money to the exchange, you trade it in for a different altcoin, then your money is on the exchange. You don't want to keep your money on the exchange because the exchange itself is not a unbreakable, unhackable entity, and there's a whole lot of money there. So you don't really want to keep your money at the bank and just ask the teller, hey, keep an eye on it. I'm going to go out to lunch. I'll be back to pick it up. It'll probably be okay. That's not really a safe long-term storage site for your hard-earned altcoins. So you want to separately create a wallet. So once you exchange, then move your coins to a wallet for your long-term storage. This is for investors. When you want to invest, I highly recommend investing instead of trading. All right, so let's go and look at Binance then. So let's see what happens if we click over to Binance. So here's Binance and see what does it look like. This can be confusing when you're first starting out. So here we are at Binance. So I see that Binance, Binance is really struggling today under volume. They crashed a few times, and that can really be difficult if you're in the middle of a trade or watching a chart and you want to execute a buy or a sell. If the exchange itself, due to volume, just crashes and then has to come back up, that's a really big problem. So Binance, like Bittrex, may have also sort of temporarily closed to new registrations, and I'm not sure how long that will last or if that's even still going on. All right. So I've got a vote here on chat for using Kraken from Germany. I had to fully verify my account. It's quite nice. Still, always withdraw the money after exchanging it. Don't leave your money on the exchange. Okay, so let's look and see let's kind of take a tour of Binance and just kind of get a feel for what it's like in here. All right, so if we just kind of go over here to the main page at Binance, we can see different coins pairs that are tradable. And when you look at this stuff here, the TRX Tron coin to Bitcoin pair, it's got all these numbers with a whole lot of zeros in it. So you'll learn, once you kind of hang out on the exchange for a while, that you really kind of have to get a sense in your mind of the Bitcoin value of a currency. So right now, Tron, TRX, is trading at at this number. We'll call this number 1016. 1016 is the number of kind of Bitcoin pennies or Satoshis or sats. So we'll call this 1017 Satoshi is the current market value of Tron. And then that's the number that you really kind of want to learn and become familiar with, and the relative value of that number from coin to coin. This number in US dollars, 18 cents, that is going to be variable based on the current value of Bitcoin. So what you're trying to do when you do an exchange is you're trying to acquire more Bitcoin, and then the Bitcoin value is also going to be fluctuating. So kind of get to know, and don't be afraid of this number. That number is the meaningful number to kind of look at and understand over time. All right, so let's see, how would you get started here then before we look at charts and trading? You get started by going to funds. So let's go over here to funds. So if you had your money on GDAX and you just opened up your Binance account, you need to deposit money to Binance, the exchange, and you need to withdraw it from GDAX. So we went over how to get from Coinbase to GDAX. From GDAX, you would want to say withdraw, and you would want to deposit here. How do you do that? So you need to go over to funds. That's going to be your kind of jumping off point here. So let's go to funds, deposits and withdrawals, and let's say we wanted to do Bitcoin, then we would find Bitcoin in this list. So here is Bitcoin. If I wanted to deposit Bitcoin so that I could trade it or use it as an invest in the altcoin. So I'll scroll over here and I would deposit. All right, deposit. So now deposit is going to generate this address. So this is a unique Bitcoin deposit address. And this is the address. This is okay to be public. This is a public address. Anybody that wants, any of you guys want to float me some Bitcoin, then you would use this address. Deposit. Go ahead. Click, copy, paste it. Deposit to this account. Would deposit Bitcoin into Jessa Jones's account. All right, so you would copy this, and then you would go back to GDAX and over at GDAX you would click withdraw, paste, and then make sure everything matches. So you're withdrawing from GDAX to this address, depositing at Binance, and then you would click, submit, and then you would wait. Because what happens now is you become part of the cryptocurrency blockchain. And you can actually see this. You can go read the block. It's all very public, and that's what's cool about cryptocurrencies. Then what happens at that moment that you say, go ahead and deposit, so you're transferring, is that GDAX will make a little transmission that says, hey, this account with the long crazy number is sending whatever amount of Bitcoin to this account, long crazy number. And that gets bundled into an algorithm that then has to be hashed by miners that need to solve a difficult math equation that is designed to take a certain period of time. So 10 minutes. Computers around the world will see those letters and numbers and will verify that everything matches up and will verify the uniqueness of that transfer. And that is the whole beauty of the way the magic box of blockchain technology works, is that this transaction is verified by many computers all around the world. There's no one banker or one bank that's involved. And the fees that you pay for that transfer are then distributed to the individuals, you and me, the people with CPUs, that are doing the, solving the algorithm to validate the uniqueness of that transaction, so that I can't take that same amount from GDAX and also deposit it to another account. Each transaction is unique. All right, so, and that's kind of the whole point of it. The reason this stuff exists is to be able to have a way to verify that there's no double spending, that each transaction is unique. It goes into a permanent ledger, the blockchain, that anyone can look up. You can look up, you can find it, you can read it, and you can see your individual transactions, and they're always tied to that coin. All right, so once you do that, then you'll wait. You'll wait and wait, wait, and eventually you will then have some amount of Bitcoin will show up in your account. So here in my account, I have 0.07 right now available Bitcoin that I could use to invest in one of the altcoins. All right, so let me look over here at chat. And my computer is dropping frames, blames blockchains. All right, I will sell my Binance account to you for $1 million. What's in your Binance account? I know you got $300 in there, or you better. All right, so all right, now let's say that you have some Bitcoin, and now you want to actually go buy some altcoins. So let's go over to exchange. All right, so up here at the top, exchange. Exchange is going to give you, let's start over here on the right. It's going to give you a list of all of these different trading pairs. So let's look at this. So we can say, show me all the ones that trade relative to Bitcoin, or show me all the ones where I could trade Ethereum for these coins, or show me all the ones where I could exchange BNB, which is the Binance coin, and we'll get a different list. So let's go to Bitcoin. That's the most popular one. All right, so Bitcoin. So now I see those funny numbers again with all the zeros. So that doesn't really mean anything. I want to know about dollars and cents. How much does this stuff cost? And that's why you kind of have to get into the Bitcoin value system. The Satoshis over time will turn into kind of pennies, and you'll kind of get a generalized understanding of how much this stuff is. But nevertheless, let's look at, for example, this coin here, the Stellar Lumens coin, XLM, and this will now tell us that its US dollar value right now, which changes based on how Bitcoin changes, it's now worth 69 cents. Now, I'm pretty sure that XLM I bought the other day for 20 cents or something like that, so this stuff really does dramatically go up and down. All right, so if you want to just invest, then you don't care. If you're going to be like if you're going to execute the plan of just buy and hold for 5 years, the top 100 cryptos, then great. Here's how you would do that if let's say that XLM was on your list and you wanted to buy it. Then you would scroll past the chart and you would go down here to buy or sell XLM. So the price right now is going to be constantly it's moving around. So here it is right now. It just traded for 40.71 Satoshis. Oh, it just went up to 40.75. Oh, it went down to 40.72. So the price is variable. So if you don't really, if you don't really care, you don't really want to kind of like shop around and wait for a price break, wait for it to go on sale. You're just like, I'm just here to buy it, put it in my long-term account, and I'll see you in 5 years. Then you would do this. You could say, I'd like to place a market order. So let's click over to market. Market means I will buy XLM at the price it is this second. Whatever that price is, that's what I'm going to buy it for, the current market price. And then you could put in the number of shares that you want. Now, one of the things I like about Binance is that it tells me how many shares I can buy. So, and you can even see this number change as everything in the account changes over time. So right now, if I wanted to, I could buy 1,912 shares at the market price. So I could, say, well, maybe I only want to buy 25% of what I could buy. Or maybe I would want to just type in a number and say, oh, I just want to buy 100 of them. Something like that. Now you would have to figure out, well, how much money is that? How much is $10 worth? Well, then you'd have to do a conversion. You'd have to go to the value of Bitcoin right now, and then you would have to figure out, all right, how much is 4072 Satoshis in US dollars, and then you would have to figure out how many you wanted to buy to equal $10. All right, so since it's about, oh, look, it went up a cent. Oh, it went back down. 70 cents, you could say, I'm going to buy 10 of XLM. And then you would hit buy. So I'll put $10 on that. Let's do it at the market price. Let's see, 4072. Is that a good price? Should I wait for a second? Let's look up here at this chart and see how it's performing. All right, let's say we don't really care. We'll buy it. We would click buy XLM. Now, if you did care, instead of buying at the market, let's make a limit order. So a limit order suggests, hey, how about this? I'll buy 10 shares of XLM if I can get it for 40.71. In fact, I'm only going to buy it if I can get it for 40.68. Then I'll buy it. And if this price just continues to go up and I can't get it for that price, for the price, my limit price, then I'm not going to buy it. So that's what a limit order looks like. So I can go back up here to the chart and maybe try to guess a little bit as I kind of look at what the recent price is. Let's see. Let's turn this back to, let's look at a view of 15 minutes in a chunk. So each one of these little red or green candles is now worth 15 minutes. And I can see, all right, XLM used to be 47.49 Satoshis, and that was at 9:45 this morning. and now it's gone all the way down to now 40.87. So I could say, that seems like it's pretty much on sale. I'll go ahead and buy it. So already the value has gone up from when we were just looking 40.78 to 40.88. That's all right. So let's go ahead and buy at sort of the current market, 10 shares, and click buy. God damn it. All right, that's not enough. I'm gonna have to buy a minimum. Let's see, can I buy 20? Buy. It must be at least 0.002. God damn it. All right, it's probably 25. Let's see. No. All right. Well, this is something I remember reading about in the guys like investing. I don't really want to buy this, so I don't want to just kind of make up a random number here. Oh, this number in Bitcoin has to be at least 0.2. All right, so I'd have to buy 60 of these. So I'd have to invest, you know, about 50 bucks in order to hold this if I wanted to buy it on Binance. You may be able to find on one of the other exchanges that you can do cheaper transactions. So if you wanted to hold this one, you would have to put 50 bucks in it right now in order to make a buy. That might go down over time. All right, so I'm not going to buy this right now because today I'm not looking around to make my investments. I'm looking to trade. And we're going to go talk about how to actually trade a little bit later. All right, so I'm not willing to spend 50 bucks for you guys to see what a buy order looks like. But if I did, then I would click buy, and then I would see down here in my open orders. My limit order may or may not fill. So it would stay here in open orders, and I could cancel it if I decided to change my mind until it filled. Once it fills, then it would show up over here. And I didn't know this for a few days, that over here under trade history, this is the market's trade history, and you can see about how many shares have traded hands recently. And then we can click over here to yours, and you can see that I sold XLM. I sold 565 shares of it at 43.72, which is pretty good because now the price is down to 40.92. So I'm glad I sold it back at 43.72. All right, so that's what that would look like. Okay, this is how you would buy this particular coin using Binance. And then you would do the same exact thing for, let's say, Ripple, XRP. If you wanted to buy Ripple, it's the #2 coin right now. You could go over here and buy. Now, once you buy, then you could sell it later. Sell it, and it would sell back to Bitcoin. Or if you bought it using Ethereum, back to Ethereum. And then that would go back under funds at any time. You could see what you currently hold. Now, this is keeping all your money on the exchange, and you can buy and sell on the exchange. But that's the same thing, remember, as asking a teller to just keep an eye on your stack of $100 bills while you go take a piss. So you don't want to keep your money on the exchange unless you're trading. So let's say I've bought my, my 100 shares, and I don't want that to be so maximized. And now I want to go put them in the wallet, put them in the vault, and come back in 5 years and see if I'm a millionaire. Then I need to go make wallets. So you would that's something that I'm gonna leave you guys to do on your own. But you would go and make wallets external to the exchange, similar to Coinbase. Coinbase is kind of a wallet. So you would create a wallet. Now, every wallet doesn't take every coin, so you might have to have a couple of different wallets. You can have wallets online, or you can even get a hardware wallet that you can actually put transfer it into a USB stick and then throw it in a safe deposit box at the bank in order to really keep your stuff, off the internet. So get your money into a wallet, an online wallet, that you would do the same thing. You would go to funds, withdraw, and then send it to the address of your wallet. Just like we got from GDAX over to Binance, you would get from Binance to your wallet for long-term storage. And that is how you would invest in cryptocurrency. And I think that investing is really a better idea than anything else because of the history of this entire movement. the likelihood that you could make a small investment across a few of the top coins, you know, maybe not number 1, 2, or 3, but maybe number 5 through 25. You know, some of the ones that are kind of in the value package. If you were to invest a relatively small amount of money and just leave it alone, then I think that the probability that as cryptocurrency kind of grows, natural selection happens, and it really kind of gains traction among the world is something that we can actually use every day. Already at iPad Rehab Supply, we will take any form of cryptocurrency as payment. You can sign up for Practical Board Repair School and pay in cryptocurrency because we see the value in that. Specifically, I remember one guy from, I think it was Iran, who sent me an email saying, Jess, I really want to come take the course, but the course you have to sign up with PayPal. We don't have PayPal, and we can't get PayPal. There's no way that I can pay you with PayPal. And that was a real deal breaker because the entire, you know, kind of course system is all based on being able to use PayPal. And, you know, so in the end, I told the guy, you know, you're going to have to find somebody that does have PayPal, you know, a sister in California or something like that. So my point here is that I think that most the likelihood that places like Alibaba, you know, Alibaba, AliExpress, and Amazon, kind of our major online merchants, the chance that these guys will ultimately accept some form of cryptocurrency is very high, especially something like AliExpress. If you think about right now with Alipay, how difficult is it? Right now, you know, to renew your ZXW dongle subscription, they only take Alipay. And in order to use Alipay, you have to have a Chinese mainland bank account, which I don't have. I cannot pay for that in any way that is straightforward because they only take Alipay. And I can understand why they only take Alipay, because they don't want to deal with all of the, you know, potential for a chargeback with PayPal and high fees. So if there was an inexpensive but very secure way for them to accept payments from people in the US that don't have Alipay, my guess is that they would. And so I think that the potential for the real everyday use of cryptocurrency is very high. And for, you know, maybe not, but I think the probability is high. So therefore, I think that if you were to make a small investment in this sort of horse race of these different coins where any one of them could emerge as the winner, and become that, you know, button that you click on your phone to pay by cryptocurrency, I think that that is a really strong possibility. And I think that when we look to see how much money is trading hands in this space, it's extraordinary. There is a huge amount of money in this space already. So I don't think that you should invest your life savings in cryptocurrency. I am fearful as I see how difficult it is right now to get US dollars into Bitcoin in order to get over here and buy these altcoins. It's very difficult. There's a big push at the door, and it's very slow to get verified and to actually have those transactions get turned into Bitcoin. That I would imagine that if one day there was some kind of pressure from the government, regulations were passed, and all the exchanges said we're not going to let people from New York change on here at all. For example, Poloniex does not allow New York State residents to have an account. That there is a very real possibility of regulations causing a collapse of the crypto world. And in that case, you want to be able to get out. And right now, I don't think the infrastructure is there for you to exit. So if you had $100,000 in Bitcoin and something happened, doomsday scenario, something happened, and you see the Bitcoin value just crashing down because Bitcoin is suddenly deemed unusable. I don't think that everyone could get from Bitcoin back to their local currency. There would just be a huge pileup. The infrastructure does not support that. So under that doomsday scenario, there's a lot of risk overall. So I think it's definitely something that you want to think about, to invest a moderate to small amount of speculative money that you would otherwise be sticking in a savings account or under your mattress. And XRP is crossing my trend line. And then I think that you want to not really get super heavy duty into this stuff, at least not until the infrastructure is present for you to quickly be able to get back out if you wanted to. All right, so this is what I wanted you guys to understand about how to invest, and I recommend investing. It doesn't take very much time. You don't really have to have very much money. The fees for actually transferring from GDAX into Binance and buying something with Binance, those are all very low, on the order of a $2 or $3. So the fees are very low, even to take a small amount of money, $25, and put it into a couple of shares of Ripple. I think that is very doable if you kind of follow the steps in this video and just see what happens. I think you can have a lot of fun with it, and it's fun when you hear in the news everybody's talking about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, and oh my God, it's fun to have a little skin in the game. If it's not expensive, it's fun to kind of be a player and to actually be a part of this time in history. That's why I'm making this video. I want to make it easy for moms of the world, for you guys, for everybody. That kind of is, has a casual awareness to know exactly what do you need to do in order to buy some altcoins, leave them in a sock, leave them in a wallet under your bed, and then check back on them, in 6 months, a year, and see if that has paid off for you. In the next video, I'm going to talk to you about what I don't recommend: trading. So how to actually trade these things. We're going to talk about trend lines, and we're going to look at Fibonacci retracements, and we're going to look at software that you can use to try to predict the actual moment-to-moment change in the fluctuation of these currency prices. Just because it's fun, I think it's high risk. I think you're likely to lose a lot of money. But trading is fun. I do it a lot, and I, as part of kind of learning how to do something, I think that you learn it best when you teach it. So I'm going to teach you guys what I know about trading in the next video.